Okay folks, just finished up making these. I've got 27 pieces here. This is all stainless, need to be polished. But what I done was, let's see if I can get one of these out one-handed here. Threaded the ends, made them all the same length, and then I had to, of course I had the taper in there because this taper on this bolt is a little wider than the 1/8 inch plate that we're going through. So for it to be, you know, countersink smooth, we needed to go a little farther. So they're finished. I definitely see why. Look at that. I lied. I got one more to do. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I'm about tired of doing these. Now I see why they people, you know, when you're in business, you get a turret lathe to do multiples like this. But anyway, I thought I was done, but it looks like I've got one more to do. So let me get it knocked out. What we're going to do is take this frame back apart. I'm going to put it back together, clamp it back together. We got a little bit more just finish grinding stuff I want to do on it. And we're going to drill holes. We're doing every 3 inches. And we'll end up doing 27 holes. And then I'll have to taper each side, so that's 54 tapers, or countersinks. And we're going to use these to go in between it. And they'll just sit in here. And this one's a little long because I hadn't faced it off yet. But anyway, these will go all in between, and that way we don't have to box all this. We're still boxing the back, but I'm going to get at this, and then we're going to get this frame apart and go ahead and get it together, and then try to get everything drilled and have this thing bolted together by the end of the day, which, you know, may not be even possible. I mean, I could get a call and be going in a couple minutes here and then not be back all day. So we're going to try though. It's been really rough trying to even get these done. I've worked on them about 3 days just because of having to leave and you know, towing and stuff. So hopefully them videos will show everybody, you know, the reason that I don't constantly get videos on. If I didn't have, you know, to work to pay the bills and stuff like that, it'd be a little different. You know, I could do videos and plenty of them every day, but you know, you got to feed the family and, you know, take care of the bills. So most important thing. So anyway, that's what we're doing now. Show you more as I go. Okay folks, all holes are marked and drilled. I may do one more back here. I've got to box that in for the transmission, but I still may do one. I ended up with 25 holes, and I actually done 26 of the pieces, and I was supposed to do 27, but I didn't get the other one done. But I may, like I said, do one more there, as long as I can clear it with the mount. And we're going to countersink every one of these, and you know, get everything cleaned up. Once we get this all bolted together and everything, then after we get it clean, then I'm going to go start on the tube for the fork tube. Okay, and for the fork tube, what I've done, I'm using a 1-inch solid shaft for the forks. So instead of paying the big money they want for bearings for you know, Harley Davidson or whatever, or a chopper, I just bought a set of wheel bearings for like a 4x8 trailer or whatever. These are 1-inch ID. Not sure what the OD is, but you know, we're going to build our tube anyway, so it really don't matter. So anyway, it was cheaper to do this. These are, I'm sure, just Chinese cheap bearings. Yeah, China, it says it right on RTK. But anyway, that's what we're going to use on the tube, and then we've got to get this finished up, and then we've got the tube to do, and then we got the boxing on the rear, and we'll build the plates that hold the wheel on that are adjustable. So matter of time. All right. Okay, so we got it bolted together here and mocked back up, and definitely different. And that's what I'm going for. It's hard to build a bike, very, very hard to build a bike and be different, because there's everything's been done. I mean, so much different stuff, and I'm just building it the way I want to build it. Now the engine is farther back from what it's going to be. Them brackets just don't line up very good in there with them pieces between the frame. And again, these are stainless, so they'll get polished. the frame, everything, get it taken back apart, and this will get painted. I used flathead screws because that's what I had in the little hardware there, and they're all countersinks, so I don't have to worry about the frame moving in any way. You know, there's still going to be a lot of sanding and a little bit of grinding and stuff on the frame to get it all exactly straight before it's painted. But you know, it'll work out fine. It's not going to move. It's not going anywhere. It's not going to break. It's not going to fall apart. There's enough mass here, enough height here, you know, to be strong. This is only 280 cc's. And as for weight, I checked. The Harley frame's anywhere from 62 to 85 pounds, depending on whether it's softail, hardtail, and you know the rear with it, the swing arm, and everything. But so 62 to 85, and I'm not even close to 62 yet, I don't believe. So it's going to get a little heavier when we do the fork and we do the boxing, and we'll weigh it. And I'll tell you what it is when it's done. But you know, we're really nowhere close to that. The tube, fork tube. I've got a piece of solid right here. Unfortunately, that's what we got to start with because that's all I got. Don't have anything else to work with. You know, we're gonna cut this back, do it how I want, and that fork tube will get welded in. And frame wise, our frame bolted together, you know, it's solid as a rock with it being bolted, so I don't have to worry too much about a frame jig right now. I may set it up when I get ready to weld this fork tube on, and I may build the fork tube and have it ready to put on and go ahead and build my front end before I even put it on, and that'll help me ensure that it's lined up really good. Now my big lathe I've got, you know, it's 20 foot long. It's plenty long enough for me to use part of the bed of it as a frame jig. So, you know, if we need to, we can set up on it. I know it's good, straight, level, square, you know, no problems with it. So anyway, so that's what we got so far. I'm going to go ahead and get machining on this fork tube some, and maybe I can get that done today and get it on video. And then of course I still got to box the back of the frame, top and bottom. So alright, let's get at it. Alright, there you go. Really nice surface. You can see some lines in it. It's smooth. You see how rough that is. So it don't matter if you use rusty steel. You can make it nice. Okay, we've got it turned down. We've got the hole all the way through it, a little over 1.5 inches. Now we're going to do the countersink for the race on top and bottom, and then we're going to turn maybe part of the center of this down. Depends on how it looks and the measurement between the frame rails and all. So we'll get that figured out as we go. All right. Still turning, and yes, I'm using that for a dead center. Not a live center, but a dead one. All right. Okay folks, I'm done for the night. We've got our fork tube built. As you can see, I can't pick it up because it's kind of hot. Just got it off the lathe. But there it is. We'll get it fitted on here tomorrow. This is going to have to come off. This come off, and then the fork tube will go in. This is actually the same diameter as the frame width is apart, so should fit in good. We'll end up having 2 welds, one down each side. We can weld it from the inside also, but it's gonna work out good. But cut this piece here because this is what as you've seen, what I turned this out of. And just so you can see that just because, you know, something's pitted up and rusted bad, don't mean it can't be used, because we've, you know, took a lot of weight off this too. You know, it don't weigh anything now in comparison to what it was. So, but we're bored for the bearings, or actually the races, and as you can see, and we're ready to go. So I could have bought this with the bearings for about $76 off eBay, but you know, I wanted to make it just because I wanted to make it. But bearings was cheap. I don't remember what they were, but they was $12.99 something. Didn't cost much at all. So, all right. Well, I appreciate everybody watching, and I know that this is not for everybody. You know, the views are way lower on this than what they are on some of the other stuff I do. But you know, fabrication's fabrication. You know, it don't matter what you're doing it on. May end up changing these out to stainless socketed cap screws. You know, Allen head. I can buy them. I can't buy them 3/4 inch. I can get them an inch, and I need to check and see. You know, I tapped a good ways, but you know, you're tapping from each side, so you'd be overlapping. So, which you know, I could get them and shorten them up, but I can only find them 1 inch. And once we paint this and then put the bolts in, it's really going to look good. But I may just leave these. But you know, the bad part about these, I like the flathead design, but you know, every one of them's facing a different direction, and you would never get them indexed in right. So, and to answer a couple questions that I know probably people may ask, one thing is it possible to get this thing legal? Because I'm using DOT rims and DOT tires, if I was to do the lighting and everything, yes, absolutely. I have proof of all the parts that I bought. You know, the cylinder I bought off of eBay, the piston. I've got pictures and video of me casting the block and cutting the frame. So, you know, all that is proof. And you know, I built a wrecker, and I brought the inspector in here because I had to change it from a truck to a wrecker on the title. And I brought the inspector in here and showed him the video of me building the wrecker, and you know, that was all he needed. He said that's good to go, you know, and he understood what I'd done, and the fact that, you know, it wasn't a bunch of stolen parts or anything like that. Now the rims, I got them from Junior. I have no doubt Junior would, you know, gladly give me a you know, a receipt, or you know, even a paper saying that he gave them to me. Wouldn't be an issue. The front one's really nice, just needs cleaned up. The back one's got some rust on the spokes, so we're going to figure out what we're going to do. And if this turns out as nice as I'm hoping it's going to turn out, I may buy 2 rims. They make some new big spoke rims that if I bought them, I'd have about $600 in the rims. But I may end up doing it depending on what this, you know, how this turns out. And I don't know what color I'm going to paint it. I was thinking maybe gunmetal gray on the metal. And let me see, the other question. Oh, gas tank. The plans on the tank is 2 tanks, or 2 half tanks. How about that? Somewhere around here I've got right here. This tank's not going to be like, you know, any other tank. I've got an idea in my head of what I want to do, but my problem is I can't actually vision it done. So it kind of hurts. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do it out of cardboard and the entire one side of the tank, so I can really get an idea of what, you know, what it's going to look like. And then it won't be a big surprise if I go to do it out of steel and it don't work out. But basically that was the shape that I had planned on. As you can see, it matches pretty good. But there'll be 2 halves. This will be straight with the frame. But there'll be 2 halves, one on each side. We'll run a line of time together. That way it'll still be open in the center, and you know, just something different. And spring seat, of course. And like I said, I'm going to build the forks. It'll be some style or some way of a Springer front end. I'm just not sure how. I'll figure out the rake on it tomorrow. The rake looks worse right here than what it is, and the reason being is I've got this on a 6-inch board. I've got that on about a 3-inch. So the front of the bike or front of the frame is going to be lower. I want to keep it as low as I can to the ground, just like an old 4-track racer, even though everything else on the frame is not really the style of a 4-track racer. But you know, like I said, just my own design. So alright, I appreciate everybody watching, and hopefully, you know, this will pick up a little bit on views, and it may not. If it don't, it don't. You know, it's just the way it is. Alright, bye.